7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41,
Yes, sir.
42, 43,
Yes, sir.
44,
Yes, sir.
45, 46, 47, 48, wait. 48, 49, 50. Any left? Any others? Roll number? Roll number. Huh?
26.
9.
22. 28.
9.
28.
Any others? There you go. Today is what day? Thursday. And that 23rd March 2023. Okay. This is the first period at 9 a.m. Okay. Till the 10 p.m. So we will continue. And we will talk today on the role of language in the acquisition of the knowledge. Is it possible to learn the knowledge without the knowledge? No. Is it possible to learn anything without the language? Maybe possible. Maybe possible. Possibility is there, but we cannot generate in the form of acceptable knowledge. Somehow we will get some data through the sense and some actually without the language I think there is no possibility to learn anything, as language is much. So how many of you have problems with the language? If you are facing the problems with the language, and then difficulty will be theirs. Am I right? Yes. So many of our students are having difficulty to learn different subjects on the basis of the language problem, and thereby they are getting less marks, or their names are not in the list of the examination results. Okay, so the most important thing is the language. So we cannot blame our students. Actually, language problem really originated from the family, I should say. When we go to the schools for the first time in our life, after learning some languages from our family, am I right? And then we start and we know little how can we dress up, how can we keep some books and exercise books on a canvas or pen or pencil in the bags. Okay, and then we have to learn that how to combs or hairs like that. Okay, and then we have to learn something before the actual learning is to be happen, and then we have to learn how to adjust the friends also. And that is why we have pre-primary educations. The education which is related in terms of those necessary requisite skills or qualification or the knowledge before the actual learning to be happen. Am I right? So you may know the importance of pre-primary educations. Yes, in some of the, before some years, pre-primary education in government schools. But nowadays we have pre-primary education. What's that? Under the government system, is there a pre-primary system of education? Have you been listened about the Angrawadi? Right, that is a pre-primary education. Now Angrawadi will come to the, as far as NPE 2020, all the Angrawadi will, will attach to the primary schools. So the food, the facilities which are being provided to the Angrawadi, which is not available in the English medium schools, private schools, but government will have. Okay, because pre-primary is very, very important. Before facing your examinations, do you face pre-final examinations? So preparation is necessary before actual primary educations. Right, pre means preparation is necessary, prenatal like that. Okay, so pre-primary is very, very important, which will help us how to dress up, how to make a friendship, how to respect the others, how to respect ourselves, how to care our bags, trays, how can we do number one, number two, like this. Okay, so these are the basic necessary knowledge or skills before actual primary education is to be started. Right. So like that, language is a means of the knowledge. Language is also very, very important. So without the language, we cannot initiate. I think before the pre-primary also, the mothers or the guardians or the brothers, sisters, or the fathers, or what we call parents, the family members are helping the child. Am I right? Especially in terms of language. How can we say that some words like papa, mama, beg, so many, I think the basic educations, the necessary basic backgrounds of language has been taught already in the home. Am I right? And then the teachers are not qualified to impart that much knowledge, because parents are well qualified than the teachers. Am I right? And the mothers, the parents, they have a big role in the life of the child also. Without the, parents, child feels a lot of insecures. Security, sense of security is very, very important. Once we have a sense of security, a learning will be theirs. Otherwise, there is no way. So the most secure persons in the life of the child is what? The family members, especially the parents. But and therefore sometimes we say that the importance of the parents, the importance of teacher. Teachers should be like a parents. How many of you are teaching like a parent to your student? See, problem will be theirs. We are not sacrificing. Actually, the second parent is teacher. The first teacher is the parent. Parents should take the role of the teachers. Am I right? And many parents are there, they are unable to help their children. The parent is nothing but is almost like a teacher. They should act like a teacher. And then most of the teachers should behave like a parents, because parental care is very, very realistic and it's a very truthful, okay, and most trusted service to be given by the teachers. So we need the teacher who behave like a parents, because teacher is second parent of the children or students. Why teachers should teach like a parents? If we behave like a parents, and they will think that the school is their home. That is a homely environment might be there at the schools, And that same environment should be provided at the school level. And therefore, we should behave like a parents. I hope that you haven't gone through mother might be there at the school level. Mother. So they will not cry if the mother is with them. And therefore, in the name of the mother, some are there. They are giving a lot of service to be provided by the real mothers. Okay. So if number 1 and number 2 is happened, the mother will serve at the school level also. Because they have a lot of, their knowledge is not quite enough to express that I like number 1 and number 2 like that. Okay. So many things may happen as they are the first students at a school level, right? What I mean that how we learn the knowledge through the listening first when we was in mother womb, right? And then later on we start crying when the birth is happen. Crying is very, very important from gynecological point of view. The baby who does not cry at the time of the birth having problems. Okay, passing the real environment. Okay, and the blood circulations and then the workings of the lungs is happened because of the cryings, right? So and we touch many things, we see many things. We try to recognize a mother, fathers, brother, sister, like that. So this is how. So sense data is very, very important. Secondly, we perceive, and then in order to perceive in a very right form, we need support from the parents too, brothers or family member too. Likewise, how we communicate among the family members through the language. At the school level also, language plays big role. Without the language, we cannot interact anybody's, right? Now, the contributions of the language to the knowledge acquisition and transmission is really wonderful. Without the language, we cannot acquire the knowledge and we cannot transmit the knowledge from one to another, because language is very, very important, and that is why Piaget told us the importance of the language also. And Chomsky explored the theory of language acquisitions, right? Okay. So I think when I talks about the why many of students are failing the exam is nothing but the main reasons might be the language problems. And therefore, before the actual teaching of the remaining subjects, except the language, the first language should be taught. Once there are efficiency in the language of those 3 formulas, and the remaining subjects will be taught. Maybe social science, maybe maths, maybe other optional papers. Okay, so learning, what is the learning happen in our country is something wrong. Without the language, how can we learn the remaining subjects? So most dedicated teachers is nothing but the teacher of the language. And I find many teachers are there of the Hindi, English, and Maithai, okay, or language, whatever, MIL. So while we are teaching the English, most of the teachers teach their students through the English. My question is that none of the children doesn't know what is English. But if we are teaching the English subjects with the English language only, and is there a possibility to learn? Is there a possibility to know the English language? No. So always something wrong with the teacher of the English and Hindi. Okay, we should teach the language, the other language, that is MIL or second language or third language or whatever international language, that should be only through the mother tongue. Because we don't have any ideas of the remaining remaining languages. We have only the foundation of the mother tongue or family language.
I think that is true, because one of my students is studying in Canada right now, and he's facing a lot of problems. He said that he has been taught in Hindi in his classroom. Actually, he should be taught in his mother. You should be teaching mother tongue because he is in the primary level right now. So what happened is that there is a big.
Yeah, and language affects our thinking also. So we used to speak the language, okay, at a different level also. The level of our thought is based on the qualities of the language that we speak. Okay, some teachers are there who are speaking very complex English. So it's a very long sentence. It's a very long sentence, and therefore difficulty to understand. Difficulty to understand, know the ideas, but even the meanings within the sentence also. A very lengthy one. Okay, and that is why we should use the language inside class, which is to be very easily understandable by our students. Okay, this is very, very important. And I find one example during my college time also. One's a teacher from the South India, and then he was teaching very nice ways. So we call him a smiling teachers. But nobody knows how he teaches because his pronunciation is quite different from our Manipuri English. Okay, and therefore we suggested, and he also tried to communicate the students during the recess time also. Is there any problem with me? And then do suggest me. Being a honest student of him, and then we will suggest him, sir, will you kindly write down something? What you are speaking, or will you use some slide points, and thereby we will know. So what you smile is really wonderful, but what you are speaking is not understandable to us. We told them, and then he changed his way of teaching, and we realized the meaning of his smilings. While constructing the language knowledge, we are possessing cognition through the language. So language is also one of the stimuli. Is there anybody who is against this statement? Language is also one of the stimuli through which we start thinking, not only in the form of the sense status. Am I right? Chumbro? Chumiko? Sense that language high business who wakan kalap na bagi macha ama uyim ko. So in construction of the language, construction of the language as well as construction of knowledge, still there is a need of the language. Without the language we cannot construct. Even we have to generate the new ideas about the cheer. What is a cheer? Cheer is CHAIR. Okay, the spelling of the cheer also. And what is the use of cheers, and what is the matter of the cheers, and what is different color of the cheers, properties of cheers. So all these things are possible through the language. Language is already sharing information sing the koi gather the wasung moy have. Language is ultimately important way have. Ko. Aduna agang sigi my mindset chi yam well improved oi di have say we will know very easily by listening the language which is spoken by that particular type of the student. Sadra dugi my wakalon se karmain leirige have say man ngang thor ko du yam line khangane. My wakalon se karmain leirige chummi bra lali. Example, say, are you in favor of the teacher, parents or students? Very example. It is also psychological as well as language, and then his or her believing systems. So the quality of ourselves is depend upon our belief systems. Chumra, chumiko belief system duneva. Mean higher yava adugi belief system do the paribra patabra. So the quality of the individual is based on the belief system of the particular individual. Natra man haziru wakalon ding matungina magi magul lepak turine. Adi duna kedong tare magi belief system. Though how can we know the belief systems or the system which is applied inside that individual mind can be understood through the language. Through the language we can know. Through the language. So language is very, very important. It can extract the inner mind ideas of the individualist. Okay. So we are possessing our cognition. Cognition is what? Knowing through the language. The language is the means through which, and then how we describe the language. In our textbooks, so many stories might be there, right? So many stories might be there. At the end of the stories, different type of question might be there. Someone may be essay, someone may be short note, a very short note, multiple, fill-up. We find different multiple choice. we find different type of question. This is nothing but the application of programming. There are three forms of programming. One is linear branching and mathematics. This was developed by whom? Skinner, the first psychologist who developed teaching methods in the history of education, right? So therefore, language considered as a battle of thought. Agree? Agree? Okay, so through which we can drive the vehicles. Now, knowledge is socially constructed. Do you agree? Piaget said that language is a means to learn the knowledge. And Vygotsky said that language development is not possible without the socialization process. And therefore, Vygotsky made different groups in order to construct the knowledge. What we call it? Social constructivism. Right? So, language is for the human being. If you are speaker and somebody will be listeners. If you are giver, somebody will be receivers. Okay, this is how we communicate. There is no communication. So the communication is possible through what? The socialization process. We generate our knowledge, we construct our knowledge because of the interacting different type of people. That is what we call it socially constructed. Chumilali. The language and the meanings plays crucial roles in the knowledge constructions. Okay, so language is very crucial roles in knowledge constructions. The way how we construct the knowledge, as far as Vygotsky says, potential knowledge and actual knowledge, there is a gap if the learners are learning individually without any support, and somebody is learning with a support, and therefore actual learning and potential knowledge are very close, 100% similar there. But individual learning, self-learning, actual learning, the potential knowledge and actual knowledge will be there will be big distance. So difficulty to construct the knowledge, because in the construction of knowledge we need the support of the others. But we will not depend always. Once we constructed knowledge and then that areas we can be able to transmit that much knowledge what we haven't learned to others. Chumbra. Okay, so that is what we call construction of knowledge. First, we could not learn without support, but we learn with support from teachers, and then once we learn, and then we will teach others, we will help others. Okay, we can help others, right? So not only help others, we can teach others also. This is how we construct the knowledge. So knowledge is in the form of the knowledge, understanding, application skills. That is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. The working knowledge is the real knowledge. We should be able to move up to the level of the practical knowledge. Is not possible without the language. How the knowledge are transmission from one to another through the textbooks. How we write the knowledge in the textbooks is in the form of the language. It might be a video, it might be audio, it might be written form. So everything is what? Language based. Language is the means. Okay. So the role of the language in knowledge construction is a really wonderful. We know more than we can tilt. We say more than we know. I hope that you haven't gone through what? Speaking, listening, reading and writings. Okay. Okay. We say more than we know. What is said will be interpreted differently. So language is very, very important. And if you are the principal, if you are the head of the department, and then we should care of the language. which is spoken, which is used by the teachers. The language which is to be used by the teacher should be easily understandable by the students. Okay, satraduna khangba lon du ngang dragadi kai kanari gi ma ngang idu pau phau na da lon tare ko ekoi gi tamil film yeng ba chap mane yo adu kai kanari gi di lon di adu angang maja kem khang da bu da sai sai ga english ngang jel kam bote ba nadra ne adu sai mo da sengam sai pai chumra ne sai pada bani yam phajare adu gyan yam ta de do sidane ba english ki oja sing se school gi angang sing ai hang mo da makoi na khumai si adu duna kai do ba khanghan ba yam change aduna I think nowadays the medium of teaching should not be singular mediums. It was before, from single medium to bilingual. And nowadays, multi-language teaching is necessary. Another satriyam later the tangai for the language ahom tang decision na tare loing amdrasu ko France, German, Korean when loan mangam dragasu ko Sanskrit ko mangam dragasu tangai for the English, Hindi, Manipuri ngang bada khang da budi ayam badi yor moin khalida nadrana. See. Now we have to construct the knowledge through the reasons. Reason means reasoning. Now certain type of the knowledge like 2 plus 2 equal to 4 are arrived by the means of reasoning. Am I right? How? This is 1 and this is 2. And how many? 1, 2. Okay. So 2 plus 2 is to 4. No, 2, 2. Altogether 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. Okay, this is because of the reasonings. So not a number, but counting the numbers of anything, maybe number of say colors, number of human being, number of animal, number of flower, number of chair, anything we can count. Okay. So there are 2 types of reasonings which serves as a source of knowledge. That is, one is deductive, another one is inductive. Okay, and the most familiar kind of the reasoning, which is often taken as a model for all reasoning, is deductive reasonings. How deductive and inductive help us to find out the reasons. Reasoning is in my eyes inductive amasung deductive na reasoning lakpanin hai yaning da bro. Huh? Kamay yaningi. Yani maram da hairo. Deductive na kamay ya halaino. Reasoning hai base. Deductive hai badi? Easy to difficulty. Right? Aditardi. Kadore? Kamay lura inoba. Chair se koi na ure ko adi kari na sari na plastic kai fangi ati magi molecular structures kai no chum kuptharu tar di kadore easy to difficulty natra adi do kari no wakan khandar ine haba nangi problem sing si kamai tahal ino kamai thola ino kamai solve tawgani ko aina problem no thengna ta problem do whether problem is deductive or inductive problem se deductive la inductive la deductive नहीं को deductive की problem से कहीं ने solve तो नहीं inductive ना चुम्मी लाली चुम्बरा problem से नंग खंग दब area दो deductive है भी unknown area है बनी को unknown दो face उतार दी के दौरे inductive ना solve तो नहीं नंग खंग दब दो मी म्याम दगी you are gathering the information from different type of the professionals and then you gather the informations and then resolve the solutions. नंग खंग दब मयाम दो खंग एवा मी म्याम उन रुबदगी खोमजल अकान द लास्ट के दौरे अराइव मयाम दो खोमजल अकान दी अरुब पोतो लाइथो होले that is what inductive of the reasoning. Now in deductive argument, conclusion logically follows from the premises. If the premises are true, the conclusion that follows must be true. Ko adu tardi horak padai da chunggi ba poto waroi san su chunggu da bune ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯄꯗ ꯂꯥꯜꯂꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯁꯟꯁꯨ ꯂꯥꯟꯒꯅꯦꯕ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯤ ꯂꯥꯜꯂꯤ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯤꯅꯝ ꯁꯣꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯋꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯁꯣꯏꯈꯤꯕꯗ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯃꯦꯟꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯗ ꯂꯤꯁꯤꯡꯂꯛ ꯅꯪ ꯉꯥꯡꯉꯛꯇꯣꯏꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯍꯧꯕꯗ ꯆꯨꯝꯅ ꯍꯧꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯦꯕ ꯑꯔꯥꯟꯕꯅ ꯌꯨꯝꯐꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯆꯠꯊꯔꯨꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯔꯥꯟꯕꯗꯨ ꯃꯦꯟꯈꯠꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯆꯨꯝꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯆꯨꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯔꯥꯟꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯥꯟꯅ ꯍꯧꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯑꯔꯥꯟꯕ ꯐꯣꯟ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯀꯅꯦꯕ ꯃꯦꯠꯁꯇ ꯌꯥꯎꯗ꯭ꯔꯅꯦ ꯑꯣꯀꯦ example it is a raining the street will be wet no if the raining is if it is a raining nong taba taragadi the street will be wet lambi loi chotlani sidi yaning bra yaning da bra yaning e ko sidai de kauning ai su yaugde yaubra yaugdre now it is a raining therefore the street will be wet sisu yaning da bra okay so all men are mortal John is a man and therefore he is a mortal yaning bra sig green ahum sisu mari loi leina bra ahum bakse leinai leinadi leinai ko so this is what we call one is a what premises and another is conclusion ko conclusion never he is mortal na la ipoche okay adu third the premises tagi conclusion se animak se loina bang mana gata bane haurakpadu da adum lairiba magi wakalon do ngasi amangang hayang amanga hangsit amangang adu ta di mangonda originality laitre truth laitre madu thajaba ya mi nateba maram di chumde la leba khadrak taweba adu iduna ne koin thajadri singa ngang ba mi sing se karigino because of reasoning ne chumbra chummade dum chum lai tam ne so conclusion it is important to distinguish the validity from truth the valid just arguments the premises need to be true it is only required that the conclusion follow the logically from the premises mamang da lai giba nang ngang giba poto adu mari leina samdarak ba taeba adu mari leina conclusion pi ba taeba haibagi athadi kaiduba ngale mari sata hai tare ri wa ngang bada ko amuk yung ki ngang amuk yu leba ki ngang amuk ising ki ngang amuk nungsi ki ngang tal kaino maji kuiraro hena ha maji kuiraro se bora selani na haina dro okay now next slides in inductive reasoning the truth is established based on earlier evidences for something which is not observed. For example, the propositions like tomorrow the sun will rise in the east. It is based on so many years of observations of seeing sun rising in the east. Though the phenomenon for the next day is still not witnessed based on repeated observations, we can say inductively that the sun will rise in the east. That is because of inductive reasonings. This conclusion has some probability on the basis of evidence presented in the premises. In the inductive arguments, we rely on certain laws of nature which are formulated based on certain occurring uniformities in the course of or a past experience. Example, green plants prepare their own food, and water vaporizes on heating. Metal expands when heated, and so there are countless uniformities that are quite familiar in our experience. In an inductive reasonings, the conclusion is not certain but only probable. Loina mari di laina karagati mari lainai but adubu kedoba the conclusion is not certain but only the probable cause. So green plants prepare their foods, water vaporizes on heatings, metal expands when heated. Mari di nature ki properties se loin yawi but haribam ahum baksing se loina mari di laina tiwa. Okay, so this is also another example through the reasoning through inductive. Okay. Shall I move next slides? My time is about to finish. All cows are groomed. Is it possible? She is a cow. Therefore, she is green. Mari di loi le, but oi thok ya bu wa di na tie. Sanbi do sangan badi ai da rang sangaga. Ko adi tar di she is cow. She is kanano. Therefore, she is green. In this example, the argument is validity oi. Chumni, the premises are not true, but how to put the la lev, how with the land grave. Therefore, the conclusion arrived at is also not true. Chumni, mari chumna chatli, but how would swear Karina Matam Madan Swagi? Yantarba, a Katrak Nahan, how was a Katrak Radam Loinev. But I'm Chumna Honораso. So, when the chains of reasonings are involved, the affirmation of the consequence does not logically collaborate the stories. Another, India is a democratic country, and 2 plus 2 equal to 4, and therefore he is driving the car. What about this? Sikari Khali? Amata Mari Lainadreva. Ko. Amata Mari Lainade, but Adu statement Hum Sidi Masamasagi Chumjadana di Laiba, Pochak Aktane Haba. From Mari Diam Talainadi. So, above the example, conclusion does not follow Mari Loi Lainadre from the premises, although all premises happen to be true. But Adu premises Hum Makshim Sidi, Oitopuya Bung Aktane Haba. So, this is what? Language of the Nishimi and Tamya Ruita. Nothing right. That is important of language. Next class will be discussed in the next topic. Next topic will be discussed in the next class.